Some of you reading this might have heard about the Mare of Nightmare Night. She was an evil spirit that once plunged the whole world into darkness and nightmares. It was a very old legend that existed long before I was a filly. For hundreds, almost 1,000 years, little fillies and colts would have a light-hearted holiday about it. They would collect candy from other ponies in their village and give some to Nightmare Moon to appease her, so she wouldn't take them into the night. When I was a mare, that legend and festival changed dramatically because Nightmare Moon came back for real. The elements of harmony stopped her, turning her back into Princess Luna. With Luna back to her old self, she returned to watching over ponies at night and protecting their dreams. Nightmare Night became more of a remembrance, a celebration that evil spirit was conquered. But that was a long time ago. Your average day in the Wasteland isn't too different than that first Nightmare Night legend describes. With the war over and Princess Luna gone, they say that Nightmare Moon finally reigns over the land. She keeps the sun hidden however she can. Now she hides in the deepest, darkest places of the night, in every shadow. She waits for fillies and colts to get close so she can take them away forever. Just like all legends, stories like this have stuck around as a warning for little fillies and colts. These new versions of the legends warn them to be careful, to stay away from the darkness. Whether or not the Mare of Nightmare Night is still roaming the land, there are a lot more monsters out there. In fact, the real monsters are probably far scarier than those old stories about Nightmare Night. It's a bit ironic. The legend used to be very frightening, a way to scare the fillies and colts. It taught them smart principles for everyday life. That is, everyday life in the old, peaceful, magical land of Equestria. Nowadays, the legend is much softer than the horrors that are actually out there. It's become a way to ease the fillies and colts into the harsh dangers of the wasteland without traumatizing them. You know, the funny thing is, it was only 1 week before Nightmare Night when the Great War happened. I remember I was going to Canterlot for a party. The Ministry of Morale held them every year at their headquarters. Since I knew the ministry mares from our old days in Ponyville, I usually got an invitation. The princesses would sometimes be there too, including the Mare of Nightmare Night herself, Princess Luna. It was always a really fun time. Every pony would dress up in costumes, and there would be punch and special punch. There would be treats, and all the Bat Pony Royal Guards usually put on a little show to start things off, like a reenactment of the original Nightmare Night. I don't remember what I was going to wear. I know I had a few different ideas. I'm pretty sure I had settled on being the Shadowmancer from Daring Do and the Violet Star. That was going to be so cool. I was going to dye my hair dark purple and see if I could find a glowing gem for her to hold. But that probably doesn't mean too much to most of you. Who knows if there are any copies of that comic even around anymore? Anyway, after the dancing and socializing, Princess Celestia would end the night by making a little sun appear in the banquet hall, and we'd all go home. It was really fun because every pony was able to put those troubles in the past and have fun with it. It's not a bad lesson for these days either. You need to be careful in the wasteland, for sure, but it doesn't hurt to giggle at the ghosties sometimes. I'm not sure what other lessons you can take away from this. I'm just sitting here all by myself on Nightmare Night. A lot of the new Appaloosans are out of town for one reason or another, and most of them don't know about the holiday any day. I wish there was a party to go to. I wonder how that Nightmare Night party would have gone if the bombs didn't fall. There was definitely a weird feeling in the air. It had been going on for months, and we could almost feel the end approaching. You can definitely learn a lot from old legends and fables. Most aren't just stories, and they're told and retold for a reason. Maybe if we had more legends, more lessons from the past, it wouldn't have happened. Hopefully, holding on to those memories centuries later will keep another great war from happening. Do I think there's a Mare of Nightmare Night still out there? Hiding in the shadows? Not really. There's a lot worse things to worry about. Not only that, I don't like the idea of Nightmare Moon out there. I was in Ponyville when Nightmare Moon was finally abolished. She is gone, and I refuse to think she ever came back. If there's some spirit out there floating in the darkness, I hope it's watching ponies in their sleep. I hope it's comforting their dreams. I hope it's Luna. I think that the princess still watches over us, keeping us safe however she can. That's the Mare of Nightmare Night that I remember.